absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? No, Rita, I do think that worked. We got some incredible people here today as we explore the superpower of influence. Who's here, Bella?
Sean, we do have some heart-centered, growth-minded individuals today on Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence, Health Providers Breaking Barriers. And first up, from Dagonia, Georgia, I think I said that correctly, a business consultant and founder for an advisory firm specializing in taking companies public, advising in the medical and technology sectors, background in biology and chemistry, helps businesses grow through capital raising and strategic partnership, a certified mediation instructor, blending brain.
No, meditation, actually.
It is meditation.
Yes, it is. Yes.
The team misspelled it. So meditation instructor, blending brain science with mindfulness. Yes. Robert, I'd like to do some brain science on Sean, but to help people overcome addiction and achieve personal transformation, let's welcome to the show, Robert Chalene.
Wow, I never had that kind of applause in my life. I don't know.
Robert,
but thank you.
So impressive.
Thank you, Bella.
So the diversity, the mastery. This show is all about heart-centered, growth-minded people. And Robert, clearly, that's what you're up to in the world. And we asked Robert for a fun fact to kick this off because Plato, Robert, who happened to be a friend of Bella, the Greek philosopher that lived a couple thousand years ago, said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. So we asked Robert and everyone for a fun fact as we introduce you, something that'll tell us something about you. It could be a proud moment, adventurous moment, funny moment, surprising moment, anything that would make us say, Robert, no way, right? Okay. So please, Robert, your fun fact.
Well, I would like to say I'll be 76 in a couple of weeks, and I spent about 200 miles on my Harley this past weekend, as I do every weekend. I refuse to get old. I refuse to age. It's just a number. I've come to know and understand that through mindfulness, by the way, and it's really helped me in my life. Just feeling greater and better and more energized than I've ever in my life. That's
Robert, you've elevated the space already, kicking us off. Thank you for that beautiful fun fact. Feeling it, hearing it. Here's to Robert being here for another 200 years. Thank you, Robert. Bella, Robert, heart-centered, growth-minded, kicking us off.
Kicking us off, never getting old. Robert, welcome to the Heart of Influence. And next up from Sarasota, Florida, leading knee, shoulder, and hip specialist, has treated elite athletes, including professionals from Cincinnati Reds, dedicated to mentoring, teaching internationally, serves as an associate professor, and has published work on Medicare Advantage, a member of the Exclusive Medical Society, and serves on the Political Action Committee of the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. John Moore.
Dr. John Moore, first of all, thanks for being here. Second of all, how shall we refer to you today? Dr. John, Dr. Moore, what is your desire?
Anything's fine. John's fine for the show.
All right. Well, thank you for that, John. So welcome to Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence. And John, please, your fun fact.
Long time ago when I was young, I played college football for Nick Saban, the former Alabama national champion, multiple national championship coach. Interesting concept.
Where did you play for Coach Saban?
Kent State University.
Wow, dude, that's incredible. What position?
Strong safety.
Wow, that is a super, super cool fun fact. And if you gave a headline, if you feel comfortable with it, John, what would you say as a headline about Nick Saban's coaching mastery?
He said to me, John, you're not big, but you sure are slow.
It's amazing. Thank you for that, John.
He helped me into medicine. Good job, Nick.
Well, thank you for that. I think that's kind of worked out. Yes, John?
Worked out well. He made a good decision for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Bell Vreda, John gets this. Coach Nick Saban being referenced today. And who else is here, Bell?
Rolling with this crew, going back from Palm Springs, California, a family practitioner with an extensive background in hospital administration, medical education, and in the healthcare industry overall, a previous hospital and associate program director, Quality Improvements Council, and Medical Executive Committee, and other scheduled positions, an innovator and thought leader passionate about helping young physicians rediscover freedom of choice in life, committed to offering them the best solutions. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Stephen Nguyen.
Thank you.
Dr. Stephen, how shall we refer to you, please?
Stephen, please.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Stephen, for that. And Stephen, please, what's your fun fact?
When I was a family medicine intern, first year, I was on vacation. We're out in Palm Springs. We have Coachella Music Festival. I was on my way there, and while I was at Costco picking up stuff for the weekend, I had to perform CPR on a civilian.
Wow.
Whoa, like life-saving stuff. Is that what we're hearing, sir?
Yes, while still in training. It was terrifying.
Yeah. Now you hadn't done any weird stuff like Bella and her friends would do at Coachella, had you?
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
That is outstanding. Thankful. Bella, I was listening for like the pleading the fifth, but not hearing it. Bella, who else is here?
Next up, Roland from Palm Harbor, Florida, Director and Chief Medical Officer of a local hospital, recognized for his leadership in clinical excellence, board certified in infectious disease and internal medicine, and an MBA in healthcare administration, played a key role in infection prevention during COVID pandemic, serves on the medical advisory board for his county's schools, and founded a nonprofit providing meals for local foster families. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Robert Peck.
Sir, you earned those letters before your name. So how shall we refer to you here today?
You could just call me Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate that. And Rob, your fun fact.
So my fun fact is that I am afraid of heights, but I finally zip lined with my son in Haiti this spring break. So got over some of that fear.
Beautiful. And what brought you to Haiti for spring break?
It was just a trip that my wife had set up for us. My girls are in college already, so it was just the three of us, and it was a beautiful 4 days off.
That is beautiful. Congratulations on your zip lining. Enjoyable. And I'm so confused, Rob and everyone, of what to use as my fun fact when we come to me later, because each of you have triggered like 3 different beautiful fun facts, and we'll see. So, Rob, thank you so much for that. Congratulations on zip lining. Bella Verita, please. Who else is here on the Bart Rademacher Heart of Influence?
Next up, coming from Arkansas, a highly accomplished nurse and anesthesiast with a master's degree in rich history of service in both civilian and military healthcare, built multiple practices, led groundbreaking open heart surgery, now focuses on chronic pain management and regenerative medicine, advocating for natural, biological, and supportive underserved areas through pain management clinics. Let's welcome to the show, Ben Campbell.
And Belle, is that Finn?
Ben.
Ben.
Like Big Ben.
Yeah. Please, Ben. Yeah. Your fun fact.
I'm pretty boring. So when I guess one fun fact was my wife also went to anesthesia school, but it was like 800 miles away. I'd always wanted to learn to fly. She's always, no, it's too dangerous. And so she got accepted. We were in Arkansas. She had to go to Kentucky. And then it's like after a month, how soon can you learn to fly? So I actually got my license in like 3 months. And then I would fly over on the weekend, pick her up, bring her home, and take her back. So
well,
we always laugh about that.
Very romantic. I'm boring. Belle is not. So welcome to my side of the show, Ben. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a heart-centered story there. Come on.
We do have a heart-centered story there. And next up from Tampa, Florida, a board-certified physician assistant specializing in medical and cosmetic dermatology, graduate cum laude with a master's in PA studies, 5-year dermatology certified by the National Commission of Certifications of PA, passionate about growing her business and impacting as many lives as possible. Let's welcome to the show, Hillary Reinders.
Hillary, welcome to the Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
So many moons ago when I was studying for boards, I needed something to kind of keep me sane. So I decided to take up the small task of competing in and eventually winning a few triathlons.
Wow. Ooh, Hillary, that is super fun and cool. And what was your sort of key length triathlon? Were you sort of the shorter distance?
Yeah, I can do Olympics, but honestly, I love the sprints. I like just going, full out for as hard and long as possible.
Awesome. Well, Hillary, welcome to the party. I'm definitely not going to use this as a fun fact, but I will drop it anecdotally. You saw Siri Lindley in the introduction video. She is a dear friend. She has some very kind words, and she was a world champion triathlete, Siri, and she retired as world champ. So we have great presence and connectivity to, and absolute respect for the mastery of triathletes. And thanks for being here today.
Thank you much.
Bella Verita.
Next up, coming from Tampa Bay, Florida, a board-certified plastic and reconstructive surgeon, a pioneer in the space of regenerative medicine, a thought leader in health optimization and biohacking, a leader helping doctors reimagine the business of medicine while introducing new paradigms for health access. Nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for his humanitarian work, the man that brought us all together today, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
Dr. Bart Rademacher, known around these parts as Bart. So thankful for you and everything you do and your heart-centered impact, my friend. And please, Bart, what is your fun fact for today?
Yeah, two fun facts, actually. Dr. Robert Kopech and John Moore have already talked to Tom LaGreca about medical revenue recovery. I thought you should know that. But the other fun fact is actually experienced the eye of the hurricane that once passed through our area last month. Kind of interesting.
Well, thankful that you are all good and made it through, and we appreciate you. And Dr. Bart, from that place, shall we do the things?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So let's introduce the amazing woman that we affectionately know as Lucy Ricardo's, reemergence in the world. This woman started selling crafts on her front lawn around the time she was diagnosed with dyslexia as an 8-year-old child. She progressed to being a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing. Teenager, network marketing, 7 figures. Those don't go together typically, except for this extraordinary woman. Then at 24 years old, she was three-peating like Michael Jordan, except not in hoops, but instead in business brokerage in the male-dominated industry, where she was the first woman ever to be Nevada's #1 business broker, let alone doing it 3 straight years like she did. And at 24 years old, she was the youngest person, male or female, ever to be Nevada's #1 business broker. Then she begins to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, in 2019, every sales team Belle Verita worked with doubled their sales. She's a skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in the most extreme of conditions. Maybe she learned how to do that from a blind man, or maybe from YouTube. It depends on the stock of the blind man in that hour, which it was. 2-time, about to be 3-time published author that has raised $10 million with the Unblinded team for charity in the past 2.5 years. And this woman in 2023 publicly battled and defeated cancer. Let's welcome to Dr. Bart Rademacher's Heart of Influence, the woman that put the heart in it in her more than 1,400th episode of the show, Bella Verita. Bella Verita, and the crowd goes wild. What is your fun fact?
Well, Sean, since I don't ride Harleys, I didn't play college football for Penn State, I don't run marathons, and I've never done CPR, I'm going to go with the fun fact that I do use neuroscience and the brain tap machine to overcome my dyslexia. I am certain that within the next year, I can transform my dyslexia by using neuroscience and biohacking. So that's the fun fact that I'm going to go with today.
That's a beautiful fun fact, Belle. And you do an incredible job. And by the way, Bella is in a 4.0 grade point average in a program in ministerial school and college at this point. So she is truly an inspiration in many ways to me, but that is certainly one of them. Bella, let's do the things.
Let's do the things. And I'm going to introduce the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He's only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016. The only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. And in fact, the state of New Jersey said he was one of the most influential attorneys in all of the state. His law firm is currently #1 in the country for medical revenue recovery. And when he's not like doing that lawyer thing, he flies around and he speaks on stages. He's spoken for Fortune 10 companies to Fortune 500 companies, such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, MasterCard. And when he's not doing that, he's an incredible philanthropist that last year raised nearly $10 million for refugees in Ukraine. Let's welcome the one, the only, Mr. Sean Callagy.
Thank you, and appreciate that very much. And thanks everybody for being here. I know in the medical space, your time is so precious. We are grateful. Thanks for being here on Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence. I'm going to go with a quick fun fact that spans a couple of different issues raised today. So I am blind. Before I was blind, I I was a Division I college baseball player, playing at Columbia University, 4-year Division I starter, captain of the team my senior year, and my blindness retired me. But similar to John, I was very grateful for what eventually happened because we have the privilege of being the #1 law firm in the country in recovering money for medical providers in the current federal IDR system created by the No Surprises Act. And in the month of October, we accrued more than $20 million of recoveries for out-of-network physicians that were underpaid, and is pushing our number, and we believe we'll cross that in the next 12 months, to more than $1 billion recovered for medical providers, where we have a goal of creating 1 year in which we recover $1 billion for out-of-network providers in the next 3 years in just 1 year. So that is my fun fact for today, Bella Verita.
That is a super fun fact. Sean, I don't know anyone that does it better. And I learned a lot about that business over the weekend. And it's quite incredible what you and the Caligie team at Caligie Recovery are doing.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And everybody, again, thank you for being here. So Miss Bella Verita, who's going first?
I think we should kick this show off with our Harley riding homie. Robert, are you up for kicking us off today?
Why not? Absolutely.
All right,
sure.
let's do it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm happy
Thank you so
to.
much. So Robert, Bella Verita is going to be anybody you want her to be. And we're exploring the superpower of influence, but not like a sales mechanism, because just the passage of the No Surprises Act and the decisions in court about it required yeses all over the place. So the yes that you could be creating could be in anything. It could be a legal yes. It could be a fundraising yes, for profit, not for profit enterprises, a management yes, a leadership yes, or a marketing and selling yes, whatever would be the most meaningful to you. And Bella would be the person on the other side of it. So she could be a politician. She could be a potential patient. She could be a charitable fundraising partner. Heck, somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, anyone, Robert, that you want to be going from hello to yes with. And quick caveat, it doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. It could just be a yes to have a longer conversation. So please, Robert, who would you like Bella to be?
Okay, so I would like Bella to be a person who is operating a medical technology company, maybe something in a high-tech field that's going through FDA, not yet completed, and I want to present to her the idea of employing my company to raise some capital for her venture.
Beautiful. So she's CEO, med tech company, and she needs some cash. Is that what I'm hearing, Robert?
Yep.
All right, Bella, take us in.
MedTech Bella here.
Hi, Bella. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Robert. How about yourself?
I'm having a great day. Thank you. Every day is a great day, and I appreciate you asking me that. Thank you.
Absolutely. And sorry, I'm super busy today, but my team, put this couple-minute call on the schedule. Wanted to hear, kind of what you had to say, and then maybe we could go from there.
Well, I think that's great, and I must tell you that I like a positive attitude and the people that I bring to, and you send me a sense of openness and that you're looking at thoughts that you have in a positive sense and being open to maybe the unexpected. And is that properly describe you?
It does. I feel like you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, well, that's great. And the reason that I like to ask that is that, first of all, I'd like you to know that, that I really appreciate where your thoughts are and that your time, and I know you got to be busy. I hope that this makes you happy, and I hope that it feels okay, but I really accept whatever direction you're going on things. And does that make sense to you, Bella?
It does. It does. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. And what I like to do is I like to let you know that I'm setting you up to continue to say yes on pretty much every question that I'm going to ask you in this presentation.
I love it. Thank you for the transparency.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago. My first job out of college, I'd made about 6 months of medical school. My wife got pregnant, so I had to go out into the business world. And my first boss taught me, he was a New Yorker, and he said, "You got to convert the negative, Robert. You got to always have them thinking positive and happy thoughts." And I said, "Okay, I think I could do that. Should I make them laugh?" He said, "No, just make them say yes."
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So what
yeah.
can I do for you? You've definitely made me laugh. I got about a minute before I gotta go. What can I do for you, Robert?
Well, I'd like to know if you've ever done any work on companies that are involved with a technology that's unproven from an FDA standpoint, and is that something that maybe be interesting to you, something that is in the works, or do you just like to stay in the field of stuff that's already proven? How much you willing to get out there and experiment?
No, we definitely like to experiment for sure. That's how you learn about things that are out there. And so, if you have something that is new, innovative, that maybe we should experience, I'm willing to have a longer conversation.
Good, and the idea, understanding that that with that comes a lot of risk, but the risk reward factor is a possibility that may be not of your appetite, but typically when you find something that is new and not published yet and not presented yet, that carries more risk, but it also potential is more reward. Is that something that makes sense to you for your investment?
The higher the risk, the higher the reward. Robert, you have my attention. Unfortunately, I got to run right now, but let's set up a longer conversation for tomorrow and see where we can go from there.
I think that's great, and I do thank you. Yes, go ahead, go do what you got to do. I'm around. I'll contact your office.
Thank you,
MedTech
Robert.
CEO Bella and Robert, outstanding work. We're coming back. And Bella, who's following Robert?
Sean, I have an idea for a MedTech company now.
I am not confused, Lucy. Just stick to the chocolate truffles and let's go.
Next up, we got Steven.
Steven, please, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Bella is a resident physician in training of her specialty choice. She is.
Hey, Steven, does a resident in training get to perform surgery? Because I have some surgeries I'd like to do on Sean.
Perfect. You can be a surgery resident. Even better. You're usually overworked. You feel you're probably underpaid, underappreciated.
That's all true too.
Right. And you may have a lot of residents have lost connection with why they got into medicine in the first place. And as they're getting closer to entering their career unsupervised, a lot of them have lost connection with, I guess, are coming into a career that is not what they thought it would be. A lot of
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, now that I get to play a doctor on TV, I get to perform surgery. So I appreciate that. Hello, this
Resident Bella, take us in.
Resident Bella.
Hi, Bella. Dr. Stephen Wynn here. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
I hear you. I understand you're a surgery resident. I was there once.
Yes. Someone, my parents told me that I should become a doctor and I would live a fulfilling life. I think they lied to me.
I felt the same way. What was it that you were looking for in a fulfilling life out of medicine?
I really wanted to, help people. That's really, why I got into it, to help people. And, if I'm honest, probably make my parents proud.
I definitely hear that. And that resonates too. And, when do you think you came to that realization that it was about making your parents proud?
Probably the day I made it into med school, and I thought I would feel more joy than I did, but it felt like this just burden of like, now this is what I have to do, not what I get to do.
So what's keeping you in it now?
I don't know what else I would do. And, I'm already almost through med school. So, I'm not turning back now. I'll just suck it up for the next 30 years, I guess.
What are some of your worries about when you get on the other side of this, when you graduate?
That I actually are going to be working more hours than I am now.
That's a real possibility.
Yeah, thanks for confirming that.
So, and I ran into the same issue when I graduated too. And how do you feel about your financial future? Is it stacking up to look like what you thought it was when you went in?
Well, I think my financial future in 30 years will look good. Not the immediate future because I got to pay off all these loan debts.
And how do you feel every day when you're going into work at probably 4 a.m.?
Tired. Each day varies. I don't want to make it out like there are some, good days, there are some bad days. I do work with great people, but I have about 30 seconds before, my nap time is over and I've got to run back into the OR.
What would it mean to you to be able to go into work happy every day now?
What? Like that's possible?
It's possible.
You're not going to try to prescribe me something while I'm in med school, are you? I don't think I could take drugs while I'm in med school. There's not like some happy pill I can take, is there?
No pills involved. I just want to invite you to join a community and continue this conversation.
I am interested in a longer conversation in community. If we can take some happy juice and dance in parades, I'm in.
Beautiful. Thank you.
But will I be able to perform surgery?
Whatever you want.
Sean, he said whatever I want. I'm on my way. I'm going to do some brain surgery on you.
I'm out of here.
Sorry,
Awesome
Sean.
job. Awesome job. So let's get to the feedbackers for Robert and Stephen. Bella?
Let's get to the feedbackers for Robert and Stephen, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be easier than brain surgery. It's just 30 seconds of feedback for either Robert or Stephen, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then like a little next step. Is that next step you'd rather go to the hospital and have open heart surgery with no anesthesia versus having a longer conversation? But I don't think anybody's going to want to do that today. I think you all know better than that. So maybe that longer conversation is just a cup of that fine hospital coffee in the cafeteria for a little bit longer of a conversation. But if that's not enough time, maybe you might actually take them to dinner. Maybe Capital Grill with the seafood tower and a nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, maybe you're having like salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you want to have the longest meeting possible with Stephen or Robert. And if that's not enough time, you would rent a fancy private jet. Of course, stop and pick up Dr. Rademacher because he didn't invite you here today, and pick up Stephen or Robert and fly anywhere in the world to have the longest meeting possible. So let's kick it off with Hillary. And Hillary, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Robert?
So I loved how you established rapport and, turning just positives. It's easier to say yes once you've heard a yes, certainly. I just think the dialogue was very casual. You didn't put a lot of, pressure right off the bat. And that was impressive to me.
Beautiful. Thanks, Hillary. And we talking, obviously, this is not surgery without anesthesia, but a cup of coffee, a follow-up dinner, maybe something more. Hillary, what would the next step be?
I think it's a sit-down dinner.
Nice. And where would you go to dinner, Hillary? Like, what's your favorite spot that you'd be like, yeah, like that would be a great place to have dinner?
What state am I in?
Whatever state you choose.
We're going to Nobu in Malibu.
Nobu. Bella, this is like your people. Hillary's
It's my people.
I'm looking for like TGI Fridays if it's left anywhere. Let's go back.
Which, Hillary, the only time I'll go to TGI Fridays is for his birthday, because who eats at TGI Fridays besides Sean Callagy, which is his favorite. If you ask him, well, I'll take you to dinner anywhere you want to go. Where do you want? It's not Nobu. It is TGI Fridays. No joke.
Jack Daniel's chicken strips. Let's go.
Jack Daniel's chicken tenders. They still have those?
Yes.
They do. They do. Hillary's all about it. I thought we were friends, Hillary.
I'm versatile.
Go. Yeah, there you go. Let's go, Dr. Robert. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Dr. Steve?
For Dr. Steve, okay. So I liked the way that he was asking about, what was concerning about you. Like he genuinely cared. And then, went right to it when you said you had just a minute to go with that. How do we get you to shift and be happy instead of just being kind of, grudging through med school and through residency? So I think that was his kind of superpowers to say, okay, I can change this. Just let me talk to you for another, 30 minutes, hour, dinner.
Beautiful.
Thanks. Rob, excellent. And what would the follow-up step be? You said a little dinner.
I would certainly do dinner, and I would go with Ocean Prime.
Let's go. Oh, Ocean Prime. Now we can be talking my language a little bit there, Bella, because I think we might have played. But let's go.
Let's go, Dr. John. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Robert?
I thought Robert was very personable going in, and I think the first thing to do is to have the person like you. And so as long as they think you're a good person, a nice person, they're willing to speak with you, you weren't condescending, you weren't overbearing, you weren't pressurizing, you were just open-ended, how about this and how about that? I like that attitude.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And the follow-up step, are we doing like Nick Saban tackling drills or maybe something else?
I'm all about asking her what they want to do. So if you take me out to dinner, I'm probably going to just say, no, I'll see you later. I don't have any interest in that personally. So I wouldn't do that to somebody else either. So if that's something they like to do, let's go out to eat. You tell me where you want to go and let's make it happen. And if they don't want to go out to dinner, then we don't have to, we can play tennis together. We can go watch opera together, whatever you want to do. Whatever makes your evening fulfilled, let's go do that. We'll talk about our proposition, make it happen.
Ooh, John sounds like there's a lot of influence mastery sitting there, Bella Rita. That is some outstanding rapport building mechanisms. Bella.
That is what I am hearing. Next, let's go, Mr. Ben Campbell. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Dr. Steve?
Yeah, what got me with Dr. Steve is he started out with focusing on all your negatives. So it was like drag, and it's like, okay, where's this going? And then all of a sudden he's got the hook in, and then at the end he goes, well, how about we just make all that better? So it was like, boom, you wake up, the light goes off. It's like, I'm interested now. Tell me more. I thought that was effective.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for that, Ben. And what would the next step be, Ben?
If somebody's gonna take away all my negatives and turn them into a positive, we're definitely gonna go out to eat or go fishing on Lake Ouachita, or let me take him on a scenic airplane ride.
Ooh, Ben's got some good ones. This is shared experience, abundance all over the place, Bella.
That is what I am hearing. Next, let's go, Dr. Bart Rademacher. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Robert?
Well, I'm going to give it to both of them because they did a masterful job in every respect. They created a safe space. They contextualized everything. And so you felt, safe to actually share what was deep on your heart, which then obviously gets them to be able to reveal the truth. So I think they're both masters in completely different ways, but it was a very comfortable setting and set the stage for a longer conversation. And since I like to travel and I see two masters in the making, I go on a flight with both of them.
Beautiful. And where would you go? If you're choosing, Bart, where would you go?
Well, I'd probably like to go to Thailand. Haven't been there yet.
All right, let's go to Thailand. Bella, your dad may know a thing or two about Thai sticks from his time in Vietnam. Yes, but we'll leave that to a later moment. And this is the time, Dr. Bart, as you know, that Bella Rita likes to give me just a tinge of a hard time. So Bella, over to you.
Yes, well, so does Dr. Bart, because Dr. Bart actually called me earlier and said, this is what I would like to do to Sean today. And so we did a little conspiring before the show, Sean. And so the role for today is going from hello to yes with Dr. John, if he's up for playing the role. And Dr. John is a neurosurgeon in a medical group of 50 and says their billing and legal department have it all figured out. And they are convinced no money is recoverable and see no reason to have a conversation with Tom LaGreca. And so, Dr. John, if you were up for playing this role, that is the hello to yes scenario that Dr. Bart has come up with today, Sean.
Dr. Bart. John, are you up for this?
He's
sir?
my friend.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, take us
And how
in.
about, and Bella, John is playing who in the practice? He is the,
He is the neurosurgeon in a medical group of 50.
got it. Okay. So, and how about we call you Dr. Smith then in the situation, John?
Dr. Smith. So I don't believe you can do it, or I'm trying to convince my group that they should do it.
I'm trying to convince you that they should have a conversation with our team.
Gotcha.
And you think you guys got it all figured out, and then there's no reason for the meeting.
Okay. Here we go.
All right.
So, hi, is Dr. Smith available?
This is Dr. Smith. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Dr. Smith. This is Dr. Bart Rademacher, and we had a 3-minute call scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
It is. I have 3 minutes. I'm all yours.
Yeah, well, thank you. Appreciate it. I know we've got 2 minutes and 45 seconds of counting. I'll honor that. I know how super busy you are. I also know that you guys perceive that you have all things under control. I'm grateful for the time, but if I may ask, what prompted you to even accept this conversation, Dr. Smith, in the first place?
Well, we used to do a lot of out-of-network stuff, and it was really wonderful. It was very productive and lucrative, and then it just kind of went away. And so we've tried hard. We spent a lot of money chasing money, good money after bad, and now we're to the point where we're all in network. We make a trickle of what we used to make, and the group kind of thinks that's where we are, and there's nowhere else to go.
No. Well, thank you for that, for sure. So, what was the prompt, though, even in the conversation that, why are we chatting then?
Well, we'd love to find a way around it. We don't know the legal ramifications or the billing ramifications or how to approach insurance companies that work with them from a position of power to get them to even consider our position. So we would like to go out of network altogether, but we don't know really how to do that.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Dr. Smith. So I'm hearing you say is you have been out of network, you're now fully in network, and this is just this, of course, the desire of insurance companies to drive everybody in the world in network. You'd love to get out, you're not sure how to navigate all of this, and you'd like to just learn a little bit more. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly right.
Yeah, awesome. So, Dr. Smith, and final with your 50 practitioners, what do you think the ultimate mission, vision, purpose is for folks in the practice? I mean, I'm sure it's great patient outcomes, but how do people feel about being in network? And how does that relate to their lifestyle, their approach overall? I mean, what's your ultimate mission, vision, purpose? And what do you find it is for a lot of the physicians that you're in partnership with?
We always want to do the right thing for patients, so we wouldn't want them to have surprise billing and that sort of thing. That insurance companies kind of hide behind that a little bit. So we don't want to, any sleight of hand, but on the other hand, people are in network. We have to abide by that, let them know what's happening. Everybody in the practice, the anesthesia providers, the surgeons, the surgery center all have to be in network. But we'd also like to provide out-of-network services to people who aren't necessarily in these very restrictive insurance company plans.
Beautiful. Well, from that place, hearing loudly and clearly some beautiful things to share. So can I share a couple things that may or may not resonate with you?
Sure.
So, Dr. Smith, first of all, we would be shocked if your practice, all 50 physicians, provide no out-of-network procedures whatsoever. It is almost impossible to be in network with everyone. So just for starters, we are absolutely certain that we will find money and resources. So all we're proposing is a follow-up conversation where we could take a second look. And even if we find the practice $500,000, $1 million, and just for fun, I am really confident we'll find more than that with 50 surgeons. We'd love to come in and have that conversation. And also to just make it a little bit more interesting, if we don't find at least $500,000, we would donate $10,000 to the charity of your choosing or the practice's choosing at the outset. Second, with all these fine folks, with the passage of the No Surprises Act, it has taken the oppositional dynamics between patient and physician totally out of the situation. And in fact, under the No Surprises Act, an out-of-network physician can't balance bill the patient. So literally the only dispute is now between physician practice and insurance company. It's a remarkable new place to be. So there's not issues of people making complaints and saying horrible things about physicians, because the No Surprises Act takes care of that issue and provides a remedy for how to deal with the insurance company. So this landscape of decades of the difficulty funding a footing in the because of the ERISA laws and statutes, like how do you even deal with all of this? There is a beautiful mechanism to resolve disputes. And finally, in the conversation that we have is how to do that. How to look at the math, how to look at the practice and make decisions about coming out of network, transitioning to it. That's something, all of which we provide a free consultation on. The finding of the money, first of all. Second of all, how you would go about going out of network. Third, having conversation with the physicians in the practice so they don't have fear of being at odds with patients, because the No Surprises Act remedies those situations. So simply put, I know we're at time, Dr. Smith. How would it resonate with you or not to have a follow-up conversation with our team at Callagy Law? Oh, by the way, the #1 filing law firm in the country at this, to talk about all these dynamics. Dr. Smith, how would that resonate with you or not for a 30 or even 60-minute follow-up? That would be, of course, on us.
Sounds like a very good option.
Thank you. So shall I set that up with your assistant, Tom, as we set up this meeting?
Actually, we'd love to do that. Maybe the only problem is that we go out of our way to not do out-of-network people. I don't take any emergency calls, so none of that jumps in my practice. So we basically turn away everybody who's not in network. So we may be the rare bird that doesn't really have that much out-of-network to do. We'd love to know how to do out-of-network so we could take out-of-network in the other direction and start to do that practice.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be happy to train on it all, but we have yet to ever see a practice that is of your size that doesn't have some out-of-network folks sneak through the situation. And listen, it's on us. And I already said, put it out there. If we did this, we would do it all for free for you, give this advice and consultation. If we don't find that money, hey, then we make a donation to your favorite charity. And maybe it'd be the first time ever that we didn't find collectible money all the way back. So you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. And so what say you?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Smith. And again, shall I set that up with Tom, your assistant?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll do that. Have a blessed day and we'll look forward to getting together. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Out of roll. That was a beautiful job, John, for sure. Appreciate that. How'd I do as Dr. Bart having a conversation with Dr. Smith? Please, John.
How do I grade you?
Yeah, like how'd I do in that conversation as Dr. Bart?
I think you did. I think you did great with that. I literally, what I'm not sold on is there actually is out of network stuff in my group because we spend a lot of time chasing that down, and so people who are out of network go out of their way to avoid that practice at this point, and so that would be the biggest issue. There was a time in my practice when we did have a lot of out of network, but we've been pretty scrutinizing of that because of all the things you mentioned. Patients were unhappy and was chasing good money after bad and those sorts of things. So if you don't find money and there's no cost involved, then that's just great. As long as we don't have 100 hours of manpower or something that we have to spend chasing down numbers to give to, that sort of thing would be okay.
Yes, cool. And by the way, legitimately, John, I had no idea that we're talking about you. Like I really didn't.
I don't have a 50 person practice, but I do have a surgery center that fits that bill. More than 50 surgeons, and they do have out of networks sometimes in that.
Cool. Well, there's certainly beautiful things to talk about for sure. Yeah. So thank you so much. And anything else that we can do to serve and support you? And if not, how was your time overall on Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence?
Excellent. I appreciate your time.
Well, thanks, John. And you have such a great way of creating rapport. Humility is present, but also this great degree of certainty. So your leadership is present. Thanks for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed it, guys.
Thank you. Let's go, Steve. Jumping in the participant seat. Really beautiful job. Got some great feedback. How'd I do in the conversation with John? And how was your time overall on Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence, Steve?
Great. I came in not knowing what to expect at all, and not knowing that it's going to be the hot seat either. So it's been a lot of fun for me. And it was very, watching you was very comfortable experience. So it seemed like conversation flowed. There was very low stakes to accepting your offer to evaluate things. There's no risk or no perceived risk or cost. Just put in some time, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's okay.
Well, thank you for that, Steve. Really wonderful job in the participant seat. And we'll always discuss the dynamic of micro yes and making it as irresistible as possible with integrity, like full transparency, any more value than we're going to receive. And of course, that the thing says that can do a thing, can actually do the thing. Thanks for seeing it and being here today, Steve. Hillary, thanks for being a feedbacker seat. Thanks for the fun energy. Truly appreciate the fact that you're a Jack Daniel's chicken strip from TGI Fridays person, along with Nobu. And Hillary, how was your time on Bart's Heart of Influence today?
It was great. Loved watching you just kind of turn concerns into opportunities. I think that's something that I'll definitely take away. And just, grateful to network with other people in the field.
Cool. Well, thank you, Hillary. Great work. Bella Rita, we had some other fine folks.
We do have some other fine folks. We have a Harley riding fine folk here, kicking us up off in the participant seat. And Robert, how was your time with us on Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence?
Well, doing impromptu, I didn't know what to think and what to expect and how I would be, but I just knew just stay asking questions and bringing the negativity out of it by allowing questions to be there that there had to be a yes to, and that automatically transcended. But I must say, and particularly for both yourself, Bella, you're so animated, and that was really, really outstanding. It put me at ease, not knowing I'm not a physician, and so here I was with a bunch of very, very professional, smart people, and including yourself. It was outstanding. And I want to say something about Sean that I found is great. His voice, his calmness, it just screamed sincerity and belief. And I think I took a lot away from that myself today from him. Sean, thank you very much. It was great.
All right, thank you. One of the principles that we believe in most in the world is the greatest salespeople in the world sell nothing. Sell nothing. Just get the truth and create safety. Because when yes is at stake for people, they feel really scared. The most aggressive people in the world, when you put a yes at stake, anything, it turns them into a prey item. And they're like the deer on your front lawn that you try to feed out of hand with food and walk towards them, and they want to run away. So create safety, transparency, get the truth. And you did a wonderful job in that participant seat. Thank you for doing it, Robert. Bella.
Thank you, Robert. And let's go, Dr. Robert. Dr. Robert, how was your time? Hopefully it was as fun as ziplining, but how was your time with us on Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence?
It was fun. It's very cool to meet other people in the field, as well as other smart people doing cool things like riding Harleys at 76. Really awesome.
Yeah. Dr. Rob, thank you so much for being here today. And I did love the ziplining dynamic in Haiti with the fan. So thanks for being here for sure. Bella.
And last but not least, that takes us to Mr. Ben Campbell. And Ben, how was your time with us on Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence?
Yeah, it was great. I had no idea what to expect. But I like your background of it's a show with panels and people asking questions and role playing. Was very interesting. Appreciated Sean's conversation with John. I kind of was picking up, was interesting that just during the conversation, he would ask things in a way that he was saying yes without making a decision throughout the conversation. And by the time he got to the end, he kept stacking more positive things up to where it became, it just would have been silly not to say yes, because no at that point would have been a worse decision to make than yes. There's nothing to lose for a yes. So it was interesting to watch the process.
Well, thank you for that, Ben. Thank you for seeing us for sure. And the application of what we work on is from courtrooms, deposition rooms, personal development stages like the Tony Robbins space, charitable fundraising with the most elite and complex, sophisticated humans, and talking to homeless people about getting into drug programs, everything in between. It's all one science that looks like magic. It looks like people are born with charisma, but in fact, there's an advanced science and how we integriously cause yes. So thank you for being here today and being part of the 8,000 people that have been on the show. Ben, appreciate that. Which of course, Bella, brings us to the one and only Bart, Dr. Bart Rademacher. Brother, thank you for all that you bring. I want to talk about a growth-minded, heart-centered, integrous person who is committed to mastery. That's what this man is. And please, Dr. Bart, your final on your show today.
Yeah, it's such a privilege and honor to be on the show with you, Sean, and having access to what's possible. And then, paying it forward to all these incredible individuals that I get to bring on the show. They're so amazing. And for me to be able to help them win at the game of life and business, it's so great for me. And especially in this space, since this show is destined to be one of the top 10 business podcasts pretty soon. So it's a great place to be.
On our way, brother. Thank you so much, Dr. Bart, for sure. Bella, Verita, everybody, thank you for being here today. We have a couple quick gifts. The first is our group influence book. It's a textbook. We have like organic chemistry textbook. This is a textbook on the space of influence. And it is a short read, but a precise and powerful read. It's not just a funnel throwaway, a couple hundred pages on the 4-12-4 of my 20-year study of influence. That's been my passion forever, is how do leaders, managers, marketers, fundraisers, how do salespeople cause yes, professionally, heart-centeredly, and impactfully. And that's what's led to our ability to take this work all over the place. So that's your gift. It's in the chat. And also to have a business or practice acceleration session with one of our team members. And these folks have been prepared, trained, to help accelerate missions. And we fancy that this is a simple diagnostic, like an MRI, a scan on what's going on in your practice, your business, your mission. And we have had rave reviews as we've delivered thousands and thousands of these fun little exams. So that's there as our gift as well. And because of Dr. Bart and all you guys being here. Bella, Verita, please, your final.
My final is, I echo everything that Sean said is, what's available here isn't available anywhere. And if you're the least bit curious, is I would definitely download that book and have a business acceleration session. You will not die. Nothing will be sent to you. Nothing's going to blow up, but there could be a nugget in there that could, if you're interested, increase your money, time, or magic. So I would take that experience on. It'd be more fun than ziplining, I promise. But definitely check that out. And Sean, back to you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And in Fun Energy, we've all heard that without a vision, our people will perish. But without a masterful how to, masterfully executed, then the vision doesn't matter a whole bunch. The people perish anyway. So with a vision, a masterful how to, and masterful execution, then not only do our people not perish, but we thrive in massive impact and abundance. And with that said, so often that vision, how to, and masterful execution sits right in front of us, but at some level, Bella, Verita, with it all sitting right there, at some level, Dr. Bart, we are all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Excellent. Great job, Dr. Bart. Thanks for being here, Mastery Monday. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.